Here you go. We are back again. We got some work to do on the boat right here. We ran all last year with an active target 1, and it actually did alright with showing fish, but didn't show my bait very well, and you couldn't see very far out. So we got this active target 2 to install on the boat. We got some other things to do. Hopefully today we can get the 360 on. We'll show you all that stuff. Super excited to be able to run the Active Target 2. They just came out with a software update for the Active Target 2 for the HDS Lives. So we got that to do. So we are ready. We'll show you what we do to go along with that. We kind of waited on it all last year, but I'm excited to get it going. We'll show you how we got some wiring, because I did a kind of a junky job through the dealership when I bought the boat. The people that had it before me, which was only been 20 hours or less on the motor, I don't like the way that they ran the old box for this. So yeah, when I got the boat, they ran the wiring through the on-off switch. I have my own switch in the back for all the electronics. We're going to do all that today, and so we'll show you how you do it, how it works, steps. But I want to make sure that it's run back to my battery straight line, which they didn't have before. So we got a little work to do. Hopefully if we have time, we're going to get to the 360, which we didn't run at all last year. We got everything together, so hopefully get all that done today. There you go. Active Target 2, baby. Yep. About all the same stuff. We got the box again, the deucer, some hardware. So, time to get going. So our first step, we're just going to take off the old transducer, get the new transducer, that All-Terrain 2, set up on there. And then we'll get the box on after that. So we got a little to do. We're just taking the tape off all the transducer. You can just skip this step if you're just installing it brand new. So this is the next step. We're just going to pull all the bolts here so we can get here and pull the transducer off and get it run back. So that's the next step. So there's these 4 Allen wrench screws to pull off the BBT mount, and now we're just going to get these screws along here so we can pull off the plate. So a little bit more next. As you can see, we disconnected the power. We're going to wrap some wires, and we're going to feed that cord all the way back through here to make it easier to run the new wire. Not for sure if you can use the same power cord or not, but we're just going to run the new one. So we'll do that next. Sorry, that's a correction. I meant the transducer cable. We'll do the transducer cable wire so we can make it easier for the next one, for the new one. So we'll do that next. Well, as with reading and other things, things can prove difficult. So hard to get it through because the tubing on this nitro, we had to take the snake off. So we're gonna have to find an alternative way, but we got our transducer at least out. Well, that was pretty difficult, but that's just because the way this nitro boat is rigged up. But next step, we're gonna run All-Terrain 2 cord, which hopefully should go better. We're just not gonna use the tubing on this one. So we'll show you that next. Well, that was fairly easy. We got it run. We'll have to clean things up here once we get everything together. So we're just gonna take off the old box number 1, AT1, and we'll put the second one in. And we'll go from there. So we got the wires run all the way back to the unit. We just got to figure out the cylinder now. Well, we're kind of at a point with the Lowrance. We might just go with the old wiring for now. It's not done right. It's through the fuse box right here. Doesn't have direct wiring to the battery. That's going to have to get changed. But for the purposes of today, we're probably as good as we can. So we're rocking and rolling through this. So I have these. It's a Ghost transfer for a 360. I think I got it from Bass Boat Technologies. So it goes right in on the Ghost, so you can get your 360 on there. So that's the next step, and we'll start cleaning up some wires. The next step, we're going to put the actual 360 on here. We just need to get those wires. We get the 360 on, we'll run those two connections down, get the rest of the wires down. So we have these 4 bolts bolted into the bracket right here, and we'll get our 360 on. So I'll line it up with the four bolts that are there on the underside of the Ghost. Just got those two on that side. We just gotta tighten it up. Just tightening up these 2 screws. Did give me some Loctite. Let's see how this baby goes with that. Seems pretty sturdy without the Loctite. Yeah, they gave me this little bit of Loctite. Then I have to get this bracket on. There's 2 big ones after that. These 2 bolts. Just gonna tighten those up. Guess it's important that the washers are on the other side. Change this other one up and we should be good. There you go. And then we put on the 360. Just gotta loosen up with the Allen wrench enough so you can put it through. Some of this can get figured on the water, but then yeah, we tighten up the Allen wrench screws to your desired height. We got the 2 other transducers there, so we can't go super far down. But some of this gets figured out on the water, but I'm just tightening it up. And we'll have to tighten that up a little later to get it down right, but we got it going. I forgot to show this, but the next step is to run the wires from the 360 transducer and power. They each have their own cord. Transducer goes into the one given, and it goes into the back of the graph. The harness, they all go by their corresponding shapes. And the power cord just goes, and we'll run that in a little bit. I'm going to start rigging the wiring for the 360 because you got to have power for the 360. And so I have some old wires that we're going to run to the console right here and then up to the front. So that's the next project. Having to finagle some stuff, we got our cord. So we just need to keep it going up towards the front. So if you can see there, we exposed this. This is on the front graph. There's this yellow wire. We're going to pull it out. And we have to run from that yellow wire that we have down there all the way up to here. That's to turn on active target when this graph's on, and it's something that people forget about. They're connected together with power, which is the worst way they said to do it. It works, but it's always on. So we're gonna have to run another wire all the way up to the front to hook into that yellow wire. So we're gonna do a little bit of that, and we're gonna run our power all the way back. That's it. Here we go, we're back here working on it again. Our next step is we're going to run the power cable for the active target. I got to unhook it from here. You wouldn't have to do that, but we're going to get that going, and we're going to run it to the back of the boat. And not as painful as it has been, but we got our cord run to the back of the boat here. We're just going to get some wires on there, hook it up to the battery, get a fuse in there, and then we'll work on that accessory wire. So all we gotta do is put a little piece of tape and what it is for that wire, and we'll be set with that one. And we just ran the accessory wire. We're just gonna have to tighten that one up as well, and we're rocking and rolling. We got accessory cable so you can share waypoints between the 2 Humminbirds. So I got to run this wire through here. That to do as well. So along with that Ethernet, you have to get a little plug on the end for depending on which Humminbird unit you got. I got a Helix, so it's this little end. So I got 2 of those, one for that Helix, one for that Helix. Depends on what Humminbird unit you got for what you got to do, but we got our Humminbird's almost threaded through. We got our auxiliary wire, so it's coming together now. There you go. So we just cleaned that up a little bit, and then we peeled back this little yellow wire, which I said is that. And then we're just going to attach those 2, and we should be set. We just ran the Ethernet cord up. We had a little bit more slack. We used the 2 screws right there, popped it into this. They're all different shapes. So found out the one with the corresponding shape, and we're all set. Here you go. We are back again. You can see it got cold out, but I'm just here. I'm going to clean up some of the wiring on here. which is going to be easy. I'm going to have to move some of the transducers around and stuff later to get that where I want, and so I can see right, but I can clean up the wiring. I got some electrical tape I'm going to use because you don't want to pinch the wires too much. You want something a little more loose, not to pinch the wires. We're going to do that and clean that all up and try to wrap everything up here. Here you go. So we got a little tape on there. And we just got running tape down here. We're just having some problems getting all the wires in here, so we're going to have to move some. So we got wires run. We're going to have to find how it goes with the trolling motor. We got that. And then we just put all the screws on the plate. We just got to put this back on. And the cup holder. So we got all the screws into the plate, and now we're just going to get our Bass Boat Technologies plate on there. But that was the basic install of everything. This is me just putting it all together. Back together. So that is it. We got it all cleaned up. We're going to have to run it a little bit to see if we got the right mounting and cords in the right places. But we got her secure. Besides that, we got safety mounts that go on the Garmin right there. But we got a few things to work out, but you do that on the water. You can't have it completely ready. So, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.